So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and I welcome you all in this live session by Drishti IAS. So in this session, we will be having a look at the Indian Express newspaper. We will discuss the important articles. We will start with the practice question which was given to you in the last class. Hold on. So we will start with the practice question which was given to you in the last class, and then we will take up few important articles, that is Shevari Nava Sheva Atal Setu. Okay, so this particular bridge has been inaugurated by our Prime Minister. So we will be talking about that. Then Assam's three-child cap. Assam has come up with a new policy, and there is this one scheme which is having some conditions if you want to be a beneficiary of it. So one of the condition is that you should have only 3 child. Okay, so that is we'll be talking about that particular scheme as well and why Assam is going for such policies. Okay, and then Speaker's Shiv Sena decision. So in Maharashtra, you must have heard that in their election, at that assembly election, at that particular point of time, their political party Shiv Sena was divided into 2 factions. Okay, so this particular thing went to Supreme Court, that which Shiv Sena would be the original party and which one would be the deviated faction. Okay, so now at that particular point of time, Supreme Court has said that it is for Speaker to decide, and Speaker has given the decision. So we will talk about that decision. Then HPV vaccination drive. So government has started this drive. We will be talking about that, and then world affairs. Then I will give you one article for your own read, and we will look at the practice questions. Okay. So here, this is front page of the Indian Express. Let's take a look at it. We'll quickly discuss that. There was this particular vaccination drive. As I told you, we'll be discussing that in detail. So we'll not take it here. Then handed white list of loan app companies. Okay, so there are these social media platforms wherein we frequently look some news, or you can say some advertisement related to some loan applications. Okay, like you can get a loan in 1 click, 1 second, 1 minute. Okay, so such applications are there, and sometimes such application can be fraudulent as well. Okay, so now RBI has handed over the list of genuine companies or genuine loan applications to government. Okay, so we'll talk about that. And then Assam sets 3-child cap for new rural development scheme. So we'll be talking about that. And then zero tolerance on right violation, army chief on J&K civilian death. So we talked about the terrorist attack which happened in Rajouri and Punch area, and because of which there was some investigation, and in that process of investigation some civilians were died, or these civilians were in the police custody at that particular point of time. So now there was this questions raised on the human rights related things, and that is why after proper consultation etc., and after some time, now army chief has said that they will not tolerate such things in the you can say when we are talking about army personals. They are saying that there is a guideline, proper guideline, when such people or such personals are deployed in such areas which are turbulent, and there is a guideline to do things and to not to do. Okay, so for that they are saying that those particular guidelines should be followed, and such issues related to human rights, or you can say such civilian deaths, will not be tolerable in the army. Okay, so let's start with the practice question which was given to you in the last session. Which of the following statement accurately describe the geographical location of Maldives with respect to India? Okay, Maldives is located southeast of India in the Bay of Bengal. Now one thing we know that it is when we are talking about location of Maldives, it is in the west side of the coast. Okay, so we will say that it is not in the Bay of Bengal. So these two options are incorrect. That is one thing. Then when we are talking about Gulf of Mannar, it is also on the eastern coast, so we will also reject that. Okay, now option B, looking at Maldives is situated southwest of India in the Arabian Sea. Now there are some concerns, people are saying that it is in the Indian Ocean and not in the Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea is the northern part of the Indian Ocean. Now the thing is, when we are talking about these water bodies, we cannot clearly demarcate from where Arabian Ocean ends, from where Indian Oceans we can consider this is the southern part of Indian Ocean. So there is this ambiguity. Second thing is, whenever there is a multiple choice question in your exam also, we are going for the most appropriate answer. Okay, so considering that, we will go for the option B. Okay, so let's have a look at the map here. When we are talking about Maldives, it's somewhere here. in the southern part of, or you can say south of Lakshadweep. Okay, and this is the west coast of India. Okay, so it is in the west side of India's coast, and when we are talking about Arabian Sea, this area is basically Arabian Sea. Okay, so we can say that it is in, in the vicinity of Arabian Sea, so that is why option B would be your right answer. Okay, so now moving further, let's start with the first discussion of the day, that is India's longest bridge, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Shivari Nava Sheva Atal Setu. Okay, so this will be inaugurated by our PM. So this is considered to be the longest bridge in India. Okay, it is in Maharashtra. Okay, so here you can have a look at the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link. This is the name of the project. Lit up the eve on the eve of inauguration, we can see Atal Setu, Mumbai. PM opens India's longest sea bridge today. Okay, it is a 22 kilometers bridge. It will actually connect 2 points where when we are talking about these 2 points, they were earlier connected with another route that was around 38 kilometers. Now it has been reduced to 22 kilometers, so definitely the travel time will also cut. Okay, here 21,000, nearly 21,000 crore rupees has been spent on this particular project, and now it will take average time of nearly 16 minutes. Earlier it used to take nearly 61 minutes. Okay, so now this is around 16 minutes. Okay, and the speed limit here would be 100 kilometer per hour. So let's have a look at the project closely. Here you can see it is connecting this Shivari to, you can say, this area here, Chirle. Okay, in Maharashtra. So basically here we can say that there are some water bodies. Okay, and this is mainland Mumbai, and then this is, you can say, an island city. Okay, so now we are connecting this through this particular project. Okay, and now the thing is, earlier there was this route which is from the mainland using Vashi etc., and this was nearly 38 kilometers, and now they have reduced it to 22 kilometers. Travel time will be reduced to 16 minutes. Okay, now why this particular project is important? Because it is connecting two major ports of India, that is, one is Mumbai port and second is Jawaharlal Nehru port. Okay, so that is why this is important. Other than that, it will also connect this Elephanta Island. Okay, Elephanta Island, there are some Elephanta caves etc. So from tourist point of view, that is important. So that is why you must have read in your NCERT the mention of Elephanta caves, or they are on the Elephanta Island. Okay, other than that, here when we see, there is another extension here to Worli. Okay, recently we have talked about this Worli tribe as well, or you can say Worli tribe. So this tribe is living in this particular area, and they have objected against some museum coming over there. They are saying that that particular museum project in that particular area might displace them. That is why they are raising some concern about it. But that tribe name is Worli, and you must have heard about Worli painting as well. Okay, so this tribe is mostly belonging to Maharashtra and Gujarat region. Okay, so that is why this is also important. And you must have heard of this Bandra Worli Sea Link. It is also an important project which is already existing. Okay, so that is about this particular project. It will be connecting Shivari with Chirle. Okay, now here you can say 21.8 kilometer 6-lane Atal Setu is longest bridge, as also longest sea bridge of India. Okay, so that is important fact. You can remember this fact. Okay, it is the longest bridge as well as the longest sea bridge in India. Okay, connecting millions from Shivari, South Mumbai to Nava Sheva, Navi Mumbai. Okay, so movement of nearly over 70,000 vehicles every day will be catering, this project will be catering nearly 70,000 vehicles per day. Other than that, it is environmental friendly design, and they have been connecting this Mumbai port with the Jawaharlal Nehru port, which I told you that this is why this project becomes even more important. Okay, so that is about it, and it will actually reduce the time from 1.5 hour to nearly 20 minutes. Okay, now here you can see the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link. This is the name of the project under which this particular bridge was formed. Mumbai Trans Harbour Link is a 22 kilometer long twin carriageway 6-lane bridge, Thane Creek in the Arabian Sea. Okay, so this area geographically, if we see, this is known as Thane Creek. Okay, we know that this particular place is in Maharashtra, Thane, from which the first railway has also started. So that is important. That is important. Okay, so Thane Creek in Arabian Sea, Shivari in the island city of Mumbai to Chirle in Raigad district of the mainland. Okay, Now this is 16.5 kilometer. All these things we have discussed. The objective of this particular project is to improve the connectivity in the Mumbai metropolitan region. Okay, Mumbai, Thane, Palghar, Raigad, these all areas will be connected because they are part of Mumbai metropolitan region, and then promote regions economic development. Okay, because now there will be a connectivity, there will be a ribbon development. Other than that, when we are talking about this infrastructure which is connecting to major ports as well, so ultimately this connectivity will somehow enhance the economic development of the region. Okay, and this particular project will bring Mumbai and Navi Mumbai closer by dramatically cutting travel time, and will decongest the existing route over the Vashi bridge. As we seen in the picture that there is this Vashi, this is Vashi bridge, and then this is the existing route. Okay, because this is a bridge, and so there is congestion considering the current traffic. Now it will decongest this particular area. Okay, and then when we are talking about Navi Mumbai, there is another project for the airport, so that the traffic at the Mumbai airport can be diverted to Navi Mumbai airport as well. Okay, so this data we have discussed. So now we can move to the another article that is related to your Assam. Hold on a second. Assam sets three-child cap for new rural scheme beneficiaries. Okay, so now they are the chief minister of Assam has said that for general and OBC women who want to take benefit out of this particular scheme we will be talking about, they should have 3 children. Okay, that is the precondition for availing the benefit under this scheme. And when we are talking about SC and ST women, there is a cap of 4 children. Okay, now in this scheme what they are trying to do is Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan. Okay, so they are basically trying this particular scheme and benefit related to this scheme to a population norm. Okay, in 2021 they have announced that this state will be going for 2-child policy. Okay, so this is first step in that particular direction. Okay, now a new financial support scheme for rural women entrepreneur by Assam government comes with a few conditions, including a cap on the number of children they have. Okay, now here they are talking about the cap on the number of children. There are other conditions as well. We'll talk about those 2 other conditions as well. Now when we are talking about OBC and general category, as I told you, they have a cap of 3 child, and then when we are talking about SC ST, they have a cap of 4 child. Okay, in this particular scheme they will be giving some kind of financial incentive to the women which are already connected to some kind of self-help group. They are trying to enhance the entrepreneurship skills, and they want them to become entrepreneur in that particular region, and they are trying to increase their annual income to rupees 1 lakh for each member from that particular self-help group they are working in. Okay, so now they are saying that we have attached this population norm or the children norm because we want this particular money to be spent on the business and not on the kids in the house. Okay, this when we are talking about poverty or all these situations, okay, in the rural hinterland areas there are various challenges women are facing. Okay, one of them is rearing kind of parenting of these small kids, and in some cases in extreme conditions they spend this money on their development, their education, their health. Okay, so now government is saying we do not want to divert it from business to their child rearing practices. So now the thing is they are saying that is why we have attached this particular norm that they should have 3 kids only. Other thing they are saying that if a woman is having more than 3 or 4 kids, there are chances she would be more focused on the family than the business. Okay, they might not get time to go for a business. That is why they have attached this particular condition. Okay, the rationale for trying this scheme is to number of children was to ensure that the woman utilize the funds for setting up of their businesses. Okay, second thing is if they have more kids, they might get less time for the business. Okay, other than that, government will provide rupees 10,000 if they fulfill the basic criteria or eligibility. They will first give you 10,000 rupees, and then they will make some kind of assessment over the 1 or 2 years, and after based on that particular assessment they will give you another 12,500 rupees and a loan from bank about some 12,500 rupees. So basically there are 3 incentives. One, government will give you 10,000 rupees at first, then after 1 or 2 years they will give you 12,500 rupees from the government side, and along with that you will be getting a loan from bank up to 12,500 rupees. Okay, so now you will be getting this 23,000 rupees from the government and 12,500 loan from you can say any other bank. So that is the scheme, that is the Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan. Okay, ultimately you will be getting 10,000 rupees in the first installment, then you will be getting 12,500, total of 22,500 rupees you will be getting from the government side, and then 12,500 rupees loan you will be getting from any bank. Okay, so that is one thing, one component of the scheme. Second thing is there are two other conditions involved in this particular scheme. That is one, there was this plantation drive in Assam. In that particular plantation drives, few plants were actually planted over there, and government is saying that those plants should be in the surviving condition. So that is one condition, which is you can say that it is somehow attaching some kind of environmental aspect to this particular scheme. Okay, and second thing is if you have a girl child, okay, so that girl child should be enrolled in a school. Okay, and if she is not at the age of going to school, so you have to give an undertaking to the government that when the time comes she will go to a school. Okay, so there are 2 or 3 component here. You can say one is related to business or income generation, so that is related to basically woman empowerment. Okay, second thing is they are asking about girls enrollment in school. Okay, and third is that environmental consideration. Okay, so all these things are discussed in this particular scheme. Okay, and they have this policy of they are trying to go for a policy of 2 child, and now they are saying that this is the first step regarding in that particular direction. So they are going for OBC and general class people, you are supposed to have 3 children if you want to take advantage of this particular scheme, and if you are from the SC ST community you can have 4 children. Okay, so this scheme is basically for women. The name of the scheme is Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan. Other than that, when we are talking Assam is also saying that they are planning to go for or the implementation of uniform civil code on the line of states like Gujarat and Uttarakhand. Okay, they are also trying to implement uniform civil code, and now they are saying that Assam is saying that we are also planning it. Okay, they were waiting for the Uttarakhand's implementation so that they can come up with a model to refer to, and they are saying that tribal communities in the state would be exempted from UCC. Okay, because to protect their own culture etc., they are saying that they will be exempted from UCC. Now let's move further. Third article of the day is related to Shinde faction is the real Shiv Sena. How speaker come to this particular decision. Okay, so as I told you earlier as well, there was a faction where Shiv Sena was divided into 2 groups. One was under Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray and second was under Eknath Shinde. Okay, so now they went to the Supreme Court and Supreme Court said that this is for the speaker to decide, and at that particular point of time Supreme Court said that the faction which is led by Eknath Shinde is illegal. Okay, at that particular time they have given this particular judgment here. You can say that the speaker's decision to appoint Shinde faction as MLA, actually the thing is here they are talking about chief whip, but when we are talking about the judgment of the Supreme Court, they have said that appointment of Eknath Shinde as the leader of the party was illegal. Okay, that is what Supreme Court has said in 2022. But the thing is, Supreme Court has given this particular authority because considering the disqualifications under your Schedule 10, it is power of speaker to decide, and now speaker has come up with this particular decision. They have said the faction under Eknath Shinde is the real Shiv Sena. Okay, so in a setback to Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, this is the second faction they are talking about. The Maharashtra Assembly Speaker on Wednesday declared that the faction led by Chief Minister Eknath Shinde was the real Shiv Sena. Okay, and was what was the speaker deciding? As I told you that so they went to the Supreme Court and Supreme Court said that it is the prerogative of speaker and a speaker will decide that. So now speaker has decided, and on which ground speaker has decided? So one is the 1999 constitution. Okay, so there is one constitution of Shiv Sena. Okay, so or you can say a document which is basically guidelines or the rules for the party. Okay, or for the working of the party. Okay, so one criteria was that 1999 constitution. Second criteria was that leadership structure of Shiv Sena. Okay, who was the leader at the time of 2018, before this particular election or the last term when we are talking about? They said in 2018 they have compared with the the current leadership and the 2018 one. Okay, and third thing they have told about the legislature or the, you can say, the majority they have. Okay, so that is the three things which they have considered. So here you can see, when we are talking about the 1999 constitution, the only official document is that constitution for the determination of the real political party, or what is the objective of that particular political party at that particular time of formation. Okay, now whichever section is having closest objective to that particular objective which is mentioned in their own constitution will be the real political party. So that is one thing they have talked about. Second thing is, what did the Narvekar say about the leadership structure of the Shiv Sena? Okay, so they have said that 2018 leadership structure was not in line with the 1999 constitution. Okay, so they are saying that the previous, when this was a party under Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, so they did not have a leadership structure in the line with the constitution. Okay, only the leadership structure which is identifiable from the party's constitution can be relied upon, as they have said that only those leadership structures which has mentioned in the constitution, if they have any kind of similarity to that particular structure, that party will be considered as the real political party, that is Shiv Sena. Okay, why did the speaker hold Uddhav did not have any power to expel Shinde? Okay, in that when Eknath Shinde exited from the party, or Eknath Shinde decided to go for this particular split, why couldn't Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, who was the chief of that particular party at that particular time, could not actually dismiss Eknath Shinde? Because the power under that constitution to go for dismissal of a member is not absolute power. Okay, that power is related to the advice of the executive committee. Okay, every party has a working procedure, and that there is a national executive committee of that particular party, and that will decide on this particular line. And when we are talking about Eknath Shinde, he has the majority at that particular point of time. Okay, so that is why they have said that that power is not absolute. So Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray cannot dismiss Eknath Shinde from the party at that particular point of time. Okay, what did the Narvekar say about the legislative majority? Okay, the legislative majority, or when you are talking about in the terms of this particular disqualification sector, they are referring to the majority, or you can say that the support of the MLAs. Okay, so at that particular point of time, Eknath Shinde has more support. At you can say 37 out of 55 MLAs were in his support, and that is why we can say that this real Shiv Sena is basically under Eknath Shinde. Okay, so that is what they have discussed in this particular article. And other than that, there was the issue of whip. Okay, so every party has a whip, and when these elections happened and Eknath Shinde became CM, at that particular point of time they have appointed their own whip, and Supreme Court has said that that appointment of the whip is also illegal. But at that particular point of time, Supreme Court's opinion was that the appointment of Eknath Shinde as the leader of the party is also illegal. Now that speaker has decided on that, and speaker says that leadership would be under Eknath Shinde, so the whip which would be decided by this particular, or you can say the party, would be the legal whip. Okay, so that is why we can say that the whip which they have decided would be the legal whip here. Okay, and when we are talking about disqualification, we has to give some reference to 10th schedule. Okay, so 10th schedule of our constitution talks about disqualification under this particular part of the constitution, that is basically related to you can say whenever a member voluntarily quit the party, or you can say there is a split, etc. So in such cases, would there be a disqualification or not, that will be decided under 10th schedule. They have given some conditions, we will talk about that. According to it, a member of house belonging to any political party becomes disqualified for being a member of house if he or she voluntarily give up the membership of the such particular party from which they have won the elections. Okay, So if someone is in a particular political party and from the mandate of that particular political party, he has become the member, and now he, after becoming the member, he has quit the membership. At that particular point of time, he will be disqualified from the membership of the let's say legislative assembly or parliament. That is one thing. Okay. Second is, he or she votes or abstain from voting in such house contrary to any direction issued by the political party without obtaining prior permission. Okay. So here they are saying that if a person is going against the decision of the party or voting against the will of the party which is issued by the whip, okay, that is one thing. Or one is going against the voting or abstain from voting. Okay, so that is the thing they have discussed, that in such cases he will be disqualified. But here there is a condition: if there is a issue raised by this party within 15 days. Okay, if in the 15 days the party has raised the issue that this particular member has gone against the whip which has been issued by the party, so at that point of time he will also be disqualified. So there are two conditions. One is when he quit the membership. Second thing is he or she when go for the voting or against the will of the party or against, or you can say abstain from the voting. Okay, so there are two conditions: he or she votes or abstain from the voting in such house contrary to the will of the party or without obtaining permission from the party. Okay, so these are two conditions. Other than that, when we are talking about some exceptions, there are some exceptions to this particular provision. That is, if a member goes out of the party as a result of a merger. Okay, so they are talking about merger. If there is a merger, okay, and there is a condition attached to it, that is merger of the party with another party. A merger take place when 2/3 of the members of a party agreed to such merger. Okay, so basically if some person is going for a merger, okay, and he has changed the political party because of such merger, and that merger is resulted out of 2/3 members affiliation or the decision of 2/3 members to join another party. Okay, so in that case that membership won't be lapsing. Okay, second thing is, if a member after being elected as the presiding officer of the house, okay, and voluntarily give up the membership of his party or rejoins it after the cease to hold that office. Okay, so now if let's see some person is from the house, and we have this convention that we will choose our speaker from the house itself. Okay, so when such person is chosen as the speaker, he has to vacate his seat, or he has to voluntarily give up his you can say membership. Okay, so in such case, if he is voluntarily quitting the membership of the political party, okay, so at that particular point he will not be disqualified. Okay, so that is one exception. Okay, so when a person is going for the chair of the house, at that particular point of time he can voluntarily give up the membership of the political party. Okay, at that particular event he will not be disqualified from the membership of house. Okay, this is to provide some kind of dignity which is attached to the office and the impartiality which that particular office holds. Okay, so these are two conditions which are considered as exception to the this disqualification under schedule 10. Okay, power of speaker with respect to anti-defection law, that particular schedule 10 talks about anti-defection law. Okay, any questions regarding this particular disqualification under schedule 10 would be decided by the speaker. Okay, so in this case also Supreme Court said the same thing, that is prerogative of speaker and speaker shall decide. Okay, so any question regarding the disqualification arising out of defection is to be decided by presiding officer of the house. Okay, second thing is, after Kyoto Holohan case, this case 1993, Supreme Court has said that the decision of presiding officer is not, you can say, out of purview of judicial review. We can say that decision is not final and it can be judicially reviewed by the court in case of any kind of ground of malafide and perversity. Okay, so these are the ground on which you can go for the judicial review as well. Okay, so these are some criteria for disqualification under schedule 10 and powers related to this particular kind of disqualification and how speaker plays a role in this particular process. Okay, so now let's move forward with the another article. Gift city to host 10 lakh people, work on to attract ship, aircraft leasing businesses. That is what has been said in this Gujarat Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, okay, which was inaugurated yesterday. We have talked about it. PM has inaugurated it in the Gandhinagar district of Gujarat. Okay, so in this particular summit, there are various convention conferences are being held, and there our finance minister as well as Mr. Adhia has talked about gift city, so we'll be talking about that. Okay, you can go through this particular article because it is given in the simple language, but we'll talk about the few important things from the article. Other thing is here is that Abu Dhabi Investment Authority first sovereign fund to set up in the base. Okay, so when we are talking about gift city, it is basically you can say special economic zone, okay, wherein there are some financial technology related companies will be set up, and the infra will be built for that financial services. Okay, so on that line, first country is that Abu Dhabi, and their you can say investment authority has set up the first sovereign fund in that particular area. Okay, and other than that, there are various countries which are going for their contribution in the gift city, and they are coming up and setting up their banks here. Okay, and the financial services which they could provide here. This Mizuho Bank from Japan, this is the second bank which will be established here, and then there is this American Stone X. Okay, it is also a financial service provider, and there is this Bermuda's founded Apex Group which will provide some kind of fund administration and audit services. Okay, so all these things will be placed in gift city. Okay, so let's talk about what is this gift city and what this article is basically talking about. Okay, so the gift is Gujarat International Finance Tech City. Okay, so this is the name, Gujarat International Finance Tech City. It is located in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Okay, it consists of multi-service special economic zones. Okay, multi-service special economic zones which houses India's first international financial services center, IFSC. Okay, so now this is important, and this is the basically the key point, or you can say the identity of this gift city. Okay, here international financial services center will be set up. Okay, and there will be you can say a gift city aims to provide living and working space for around 10 lakh people. Okay, once this project is completed, there will be nearly 10 lakh people living and working in this particular area. Okay, it is aiming to create a diverse fintech laboratory. Okay, so they are trying to make some lab, or when we are talking about a fintech laboratory. Okay, so it is a setup where R&D can be conducted. Okay, and it will provide services to various entrepreneurs. Okay, now the city is positioned as the hub for finance and technology related entrepreneurs, with a focus on becoming a global center for fintech. Okay, so this they are talking about finance and technology related entrepreneurs. Okay, it also includes integrated, well planned residential housing projects, social infrastructure, making gift city a truly walk to work city. As we have discussed here, that it will provide a living space as well as working space for the people, nearly 10 lakh people over here. So they are talking about walk to work. Okay, in a nearby area they will be living and then going to the work. So some that kind of city or infrastructure they are building in this particular area. So you can expect like residential apartments, and then education, health infrastructure over there. Okay, sports facility, all these things along with the working space for these entrepreneurs. Okay, changes in the regulatory frameworks are being worked out to attract ship and aircraft leasing businesses, particularly from countries like Ireland. So when we are talking about the leasing of aircraft, etc., which is currently done by our country from various countries like this Ireland. Okay, now we are trying to make this particular setup in the gift city where we can provide such services. Okay, so or we can invite such countries to come here and provide services from here. Okay, so that is what the idea of gift city is. Now moving further from the economy, as I told you, they have handed a white list of loan apps to government, says RBI. Okay, governor. Others set to face actions. Now here they are talking about some loan applications. When we are talking about application, these are those apps which we get on the phone, or which we get the advertisement in the, let's say, our media platforms like Facebook, Instagram. We get this ad that you can get a loan at like one click, 1 minute, 1 second. So such applications are basically these loan applications. So most of the time these loan applications are attached to some kind of NBFC, non-banking finance companies. Okay, sometimes they are genuine, most of the time they should be genuine, they should be under affiliation of NBFC. But the thing is, a customer or the customer of these services might not know that if they have the affiliation with the NBFC or not. Okay, so earlier there was no such list. Now RBI governor has given a list of those white companies. Okay, so they have given the list of these genuine companies. Okay, so that is list is called white list, and in that list they have provided the names of all those loan applications or fintech applications which will be providing true or genuine loans to the people. Okay, now problem here is that in the last few years these fraudulent companies has come in the market, and they are asking people or the customers to take loans from them, and in case of delay in the loan payment or any kind of delay in the recovery, they are going for let's say you can say abuse and mental harassment, etc. And other than that, they are promising the loan at the smaller rates, but when you take the loan, okay, they will charge you like higher rates. Like if you are taking there was this case wherein a person has gone for a loan of some 15,000, and at the time of recovery this application has asked for 50,000, nearly more than 3 times the amount he has taken. He has actually said that he will not pay that kind of amount. So ultimately they started mentally harassing this person. Okay, this case come in the news, and then Indian Express has taken some kind of report on this, and on the basis of that now this particular thing has come in the picture. This is the report they are talking about. Indian Express investigation, fraud loan applications runs amok as government RBI tech platform silent on who is to monitor. Okay, so that is the issue. We'll be talking about it. The Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikant Das on Thursday said the central bank has shared a white list of lending application with the center, expected to soon take action against the illegal loan application that are not in the list. Okay, now in recently some years, as I told you, these fraudulent companies has come into the picture, and how they lure the customer, we will talk about that later. But there are certain things which has been talked about here, that RBI has collected this list from regulating entities from banks, NBFC, and then give it to the IT ministry. Here you can say fraudulent firms has mushroomed on the back of rapid growth in the digital lending. Social media platforms take additional measure to ensure that they don't host advertisement of fraudulent loan apps, warning that the consequence will be the sole responsibility of such platform. Okay, now they are saying that this is just a suggestion that social media platforms which are going for the advertisement of such companies, they should not go for it. They should first scrutinize that if they are genuine or not, and then they should go for advertisement. And if they are going for advertisement of such fraudulent company, that responsibility will be their own. Okay, that is one thing. Other than that, there are some suggestions that like for users, for opening an bank account, we have this KYC norm. Okay, so they are saying that such KYC norm should be there for these companies as well. Okay, so that is know your digital finance app. Such norm should be there, which can provide the genuineness of this particular applications. Okay, so that is about these loan applications. As I told you, how they do it, they through the social media advertisements, they will say that they are going for the cheap rate loans or the loans at the lower interest rate. And once the person takes it, first of all they will ask for the permission of your data, that is SMS, calling, photos, gallery, etc. So that is one, that is a breach of data. That is one thing. Second thing is they will say that they are charging lesser rates, but at the time of recovery they will ask you for the more rates, and if you are not going for the recovery of that, or you are not providing the money, they will start abusing you mentally or physically as well. Okay, so these are the concern which has been raised by Indian Express, and now government has taken cognizance of that, and they are saying that if there is a fraudulent loan application, they will take action against them. Okay, so that is about your how illegal apps are trapping people, and now government is taking some actions. Now government to roll out vaccine drive to fight cervical cancer. Okay, campaign to target girls of 9 to 14 years age group, and 3 phase over 3 years. So this vaccination drive would be for like in 3 phases, and this vaccination drive is for girls aging from your 9 to 14 years. Okay, so let's see. Government plans to launch an HPV vaccination campaign for girls aged 9 to 14 years in 3-phase immunization drive over 3 years, starting in the second quarter of the year. Okay, that is one thing. Immunization drive aims to reduce the incidence and the second most common cancer among the Indian women. here you can say India accounts for about fifth of the world cervical cancers. Okay, so that is a huge number. With about 1.25 lakh new cases and 75,000 deaths each year, cervical cancer is the second most common cancer among the women after breast cancer. So this is about the cervical cancer, and India has a lot of burden of this particular disease, and that is why we are going for the vaccination. The vaccine offers protection against HPV strains causing cervical cancer, anal cancer, vaginal cancer, okay, and then these genital warts. Okay, so these are the diseases from which this particular vaccine might provide you the protection. Okay, now currently available commercially at rupees 2000. Once this is under a vaccination drive by the government, it will be free of cost. Okay, so that is somehow empowering women in a way, you can say that, because this is a lot to pay for a vaccine, rupees 2000. Now when it is under a immunization program of the government, it will be provided for free. Okay, now immunization to cover 1/3 of the girls aged 9 to 14 years annually over 3 years, with nearly 8 crore children eligible for the this particular vaccination drive. Okay, so we have discussed about this HPV virus, that is human papilloma virus. Okay, so this human papilloma virus is causing this cervical cancer among other diseases which we have discussed. Okay, so you have go through this infographic, that will be important for your prelims. Now moving further, Israel says South Africa speaks for Hamas, which South Africa has denied, obviously. Now the thing is here, ICJ begins hearing of South Africa's genocide case against Israel. South Africa has gone for a genocide case in ICJ. Okay, and they are saying that what Israel is doing in Gaza is a kind of genocide, and they are going to file a case. They are filing a case because they have gone through such a similar thing, that is your apartheid. They have this apartheid history, and because of which they are sensitive to the issue, and they have come to the this court in you can say court of UN, that is ICJ. Okay, so now here they are talking about this particular issue of Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Okay, so we have discussed in editorial that how this particular issue has started from Hamas and Israel and actually expanded to various areas in the region. Okay, till now most of the countries are not doing anything other than just conferences, etc. This is one concrete step, we can say. Okay, South Africa accused Israel on Thursday of carrying out genocide in Gaza and demanded that the UN stop court orders an emergency suspension of Israel's devastating military campaign in the Palestinian enclaves. Okay, so now they are saying that this particular court should go and stop this particular violence which is going on over there. Okay, when we are talking about ICJ has this it is UN's body or highest court of UN. Okay, it will give you a decision, and after that decision, since it does not have any kind of force which can think about, or you can say implement the decision. Okay, so considering that if one decision is given and it is not implemented by any of the party, so this particular thing can be gone to UNSC, UN Security Council, and then there would be a voting. Okay, so ultimately you can say in a way that this court's judgment are not binding in nature. Okay, so ICJ is the highest judiciary body of the United Nations, but it does not have police force to implement the ruling. Once the panel of 17 just decide the initial measures, the process of hearing the full case begins. Any nation that believes another member has failed to comply with the ICJ order, okay, in case of failing to comply the order, that can report to the UNSC Council. Okay, so that is about ICJ. Okay, so they have South Africa has gone to ICJ against Israel because of their whatever violence which has been which they are been doing in the Gaza Strip. Okay. So now when we are talking about Israel obviously will deny that. Israel is saying that it is because of the self-defense and not any kind of genocide. Okay. Meanwhile, the first residents returned to the northern area where Israeli forces has begun to withdraw, okay, leaving behind the scenes of devastation. Okay, now from northern areas, Israel forces are withdrawing, and now people are coming back to that particular area. So that is another step in the Gaza, or you can say another development in the Gaza Strip. Israel's offensive, which has demolished much of the coastal enclaves and killed nearly 23,469 people, according to the Gaza health authorities. and that is what has been said by the South Africa. They have made this you can say allegation on Israel. Okay. So Israel, in responding to that, they have said that South Africa is talking, or speaking the language of Hamas. They are saying that South Africa was speaking on behalf of Hamas, okay, which they have said that they are not doing so. And this we have discussed, that what is the ICJ and what is their decision, if they are binding or not. Then path to Palestinian state, best way to stabilize region, isolate Iran. Okay, so UN UN state UN Secretary of State, hold on a second. So UN Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has said that there are two ways you can deal with this issue. One way is that you can assure Israel of their safety, and this assurance can come from the neighboring countries, from the Palestinian enclaves and the USA. Okay, so this that is one step. And second thing is that the other part is to continue to see the terrorism. Okay, so once you are talking about stabilizing of Israel, and you can say giving some kind of assurance to Israel, and that is one, along with the isolation of Iran from the region. Okay, because they are saying that Iran is going for the terrorist activities, they are supporting these rebel groups in the area. Okay, so he has said that there are only two ways. One is that you can go for region faced with two parts, Israel integrated with security assurance from the regional countries as well as from the USA and a Palestinian state. Okay, that is one path. And second is to continue to see the terrorism all backed by Iran. Okay, so now they are saying that if you are going to go for the first solution, that is the only solution which is available. Okay, if you want to remove the terrorism from the area. Okay, here they are also talking about the Palestinian state. Okay, path to Palestinian state is a best way to stabilize the region. So here now US is recognizing that there should be a Palestinian state. Okay, so that is the good sign, because historically speaking USA has always given their support to Israel, and they has supported the cause of the Israel. Now we don't know how much truth this particular statement holds, but the thing is formation of Palestinian state can be a good decision, and that can ultimately end this violence, in the historical violence in this particular area. Okay, now moving further, for your read, there is this strategic interest of India, Canada aligned. Okay, on this particular vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, Canadian High Commissioner to India has talked about our relationship, and they have said that let government do the diplomacy and business do the business. Okay, so the thing is, they are saying that this particular incident that happened after the allegation by the Canadian government on India's government, that they are linked to some kind of killing of separatist Nizar over there. Okay, Hardeep Nizar. So they are saying that government, they said that the government has some kind of link, Indian government has some kind of link in his killing. But the government of India has said that these allegations are absurd, there is no basis behind it. And because of such allegations, the relation between India and Canada has gone to some kind of tension. And now the High Commissioner from Canadian side to India, he has said that such small things, or you can say such tensions which has been rising in the past, will not have the impact on the larger collaborations, the larger interest of India and Canada relations. Okay, so they have said that these India and Canada has strategic interest which are linked to each other's, and that is why such small incident will not actually harm the larger strategic interest of India and Canada. Okay, so this article you can have a read. Okay, it is given in a simple language, and this is basically a revision of whatever we have talked about India and Canada earlier. Okay, so now we can move forward with the your practice question. Langia Sora painting. Okay, we have talked about this particular GI tag in the past, or in the past lectures. Langia Sora paintings is a traditional art form associated with which region of India? Okay, so now options are Rajasthan, Odisha, Kerala and Punjab. You have to attempt this question and answer in the comment box. Now moving to the practice question for your mains. Explain briefly what role does the speaker play in process of disqualification of legislation under Schedule 10 of the Indian Constitution. Now what is the role he plays? So we have discussed that 10th schedule, wherein we have talked about few conditions on which disqualification can happen, and then there are few exceptions. One of them is that if there is a presiding officer, they can leave. That is one exception. Voluntarily leaving a membership of party will not amount to disqualification. So that is one thing from where you can start with the introduction in the about the 10th schedule. Okay, and then you can talk about the provision of the 10th schedule, and then you can talk about the exceptions, and then you can come to the role. Okay, the role played by the speaker here is immense, because the question of disqualification will be decided by the speaker. Okay, so here, and you can talk about that this is the role basically they play, that the question of disqualification, anything, if there is any kind of confusion or questions related to disqualification of the member, that will be decided by the speaker. That is first thing. And then second thing is, can the decision of speaker be subjected to judicial review? And now here you can say that yes, it is subjected to judicial review. We have talked about it, and here you can give reference to that particular case we have talked about. Okay, so that is how you can write this answer. Now you can, if you want, you can cite the example of this Maharashtra case. That would be fetching you some extra marks definitely. So with that, I would like to wrap up the session. I'll see you on Monday. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.